Travis Wingate, so still in a brain fog from waking up early in the evening, wasn't it? It was 11:45-ish, wasn't it? Anyway, so it's interesting that Mormons proudly go around telling everybody they're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And yet, when somebody like me comes along and tells Mormons what our current prophets are not telling them, they not only ignore, well, they don't actually ignore. They get angry. And very bizarre. They go around telling other people that I'm the false prophet, that I'm leading Mormons astray, that we should follow the leaders of the church who are silent during all of this. I know Mormons are wanting to know if this is it, because YouTube's analytics shows that the number one typing for my particular videos that they are finding are LDS Last Days. Thus the title in this one that I've pre-written down to remember it. And so we all understand that it's the last days. We all feel it. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. And the leaders of the church have sort of set Mormons up for that, as they took Joseph's organization away from him with his assassination and led Mormons to believe that Brigham Young was the millennial Moses and instead of Joseph Smith, and that you didn't know that? Brigham Young turned Joseph Smith into the Pharaoh of Egypt during the coronavirus, except there was no coronavirus in their day because that wasn't it. But his followers, his Danite loyalists, called him the Mormon Moses, the American Moses, the Mormon Moses, the modern Moses, all those different Moseses, just because he kidnapped Mormons who were not part of the Danites, such as the women for his polygamous cult, and fled the country of the United States to Mexico, where he slaughtered the Indians and built his own kingdom, for which the United States came in and said, no, you can't do this, to which he then created a temple ceremony of vengeance against the United States to one day rule and reign. No one will dare to molest or make afraid. And the Lucifers and none of the Lucifers ever do the deep voice. No one dares to molest or make afraid. You know, it's always the cartoonists portraying the devil that give him the scary voice. But they still led Mormons that they kidnapped and held hostage here in the Salt Lake Valley, that there was going to be a latter days, that they were going to take back America from the evil empire that is trying to keep them from practicing human sex trafficking. And and led Mormons to believe that that's what they were preparing for all these decades. As the patriarch in this ward, when I was attending it, told me, he didn't think that the second coming, the last days, would occur in his lifetime. Previous generations, as he'd grown up, had said that they all thought it was going to be in their generation, and time went by, and so yeah, he heard about me and talking about the signs in the heavens being fulfilled from the Bible, and wanted to tell me that he doesn't think it's going to happen in our lifetime, and it's going to be our great-grandchildren's generation instead. Everybody just keeps pushing it up in denial that we're supposed to be the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. How many centuries do we have to go until we hit the latter days? Or when the latter days are no longer an option? The Latter-day Saints are going on their 3,000th year in operation, celebrating this day, the 6th of April. It's the longest Latter-day movement ever. But Mormons don't think that Utah or their organization can be destroyed like Jerusalem was destroyed twice, as both the Jews under the Babylonians and the Jews under the Romans both thought, no, it could never happen. And so here Mormons are, nah, it can never happen, can't happen, ain't gonna happen. But we have a coronavirus, guys. That should have been a trigger for every single Mormon. Because who are we looking for, Mormons? Jesus Christ to come out of the sky. No. That's the evangelicals. And they got punked too. They're all into Revelation. They're big time Revelation. And instead of recognizing Trump as the beast with 666 in the MAGA forehead, dead giveaway, as he's purposely fulfilling his role. Mormons likewise are missing everything, and it's because the church has deceived them into thinking the church is the good guys. We're the good guys. We're gonna lead you in an exodus. And there's going to be no exodus according to the leaders of the church. They don't believe in an exodus necessary because they believe that the Salt Lake Temple is going to last through the millennium. Well, how can there be a millennium if there is no destruction? Exactly. And so section 103 is the one that Mormons are supposed to be looking for. And so, yeah, it's 14. If you pollute your inheritance, Mormons, you will be thrown down. For I will not spare Mormons if they pollute Mormon inheritances. Putting in Mormon for the pronouns. Behold, I say unto the Mormons, the redemption of Zion must needs come by power. This is what we're waiting for. This is why it's the latter days. We're waiting for the redemption of Zion. And Utah is not it. You can say that 40 years in the wilderness is the similar structure. Oh man, the landscapers are here. I'll have to try to hurry. Brigham Young is not it. He's not the guy. He even went contrary to Jesus in Matthew 24. Don't follow the man into the desert if he claims that I am in the desert. I'm not in the desert. And so this person that we are looking for is after the learning of the Jews. Sound familiar, Mormons? It should sound familiar. You read it over and over again until you get to the Isaiah passages, and then you give up because Isaiah is too hard for you to read. It's right there in the beginning. Nephi says, I write in the learning of the Jews and the language of the Egyptians. The learning of the Jews is who we're looking for. That's who the Christ is that we have. It's after the learning of the Jews. Do I have to keep emphasizing this and repeating it for you until you finally click it in your head? We're not Christian. Not Christian in the sense of Constantinian Christians. We are Christian only in the sense of the Jewish Messiah whom they are looking for, who's not even a Jew per se. He has some Jewish lineage in him after all these centuries and millennia, but he's not an Orthodox Jew, and so they're not looking for one of their own to be the Messiah. I mean, they failed on that miserably on numerous occasions, to have one of their own rise up to be the Messiah. And so here it is, Mormons. Joseph Smith getting revelation. And so he says, I will raise up a mortal man after the learning of the Jews. This is who they're looking for, a mortal man unto my people. Who's my people, Mormons? Who's Joseph Smith talking about? My people. Yeah, us. A man who shall lead them like as Moses. The learning of the Jews are waiting for this guy. That's why I keep wondering, do the Jews realize that this coronavirus is the fulfillment of the prophecy of their coming Messiah? That he's supposed to be confronting the government and the religion that has fallen into apostasy and evil? I hope the Jews haven't given up hope. After all they've been through with World War II, with all they've been through since World War II, I hope they haven't given up hope. But this is our Christ, Mormons. We're the Latter-day Saints. This is the man we're looking for, and he's among us, because the signs are going on right now. That means he's an adult right now. I've been trying to tell you how to identify him through the prophecies, not just of Isaiah, not just Joseph Smith, but the stories of the Bible are all apocalyptic literature, which means they all testify of the future coming of the Christ in story metaphor form, using symbols. So Samson, go over Samson and think of Temple Square with the lion house and the beehive house by the temple where Mormons get sealed, and yet it's not the true church, it's the church in apostasy. Pay attention, because they're all trying to tell you the church is in apostasy. It is wicked, but from among it will be a Mormon who will be raised up to lead Mormons who will follow out of Utah when destruction comes. That is the pattern in the Book of Mormon, the Exodus. You have one who is not supposed to be the leader of the church, as there's already a leader of the church, and he instead has to tell the leader of the church, behave, you're being bad. They want to have him killed. There's an exodus. Except in the case of Abinadi, the Exodus was with Alma rather than Abinadi, as Abinadi was slaughtered, burned. But the same pattern, just different ways of telling that same pattern over and over and over again throughout the whole Book of Mormon. And so if you as Mormons are not understanding your Book of Mormon, and yet you go around proudly declaring, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I know what it means. I have no idea what the primary song is. I just know it's a primary song. So be good, Mormons, because this is it.